wait, did you like the introduction? I just want to make sure that
I,
I didn't
I
say
didn't
anything
I
wrong.
didn't hear it. I didn't hear my own introduction. You
Oh,
can repeat it for me.
okay. I said I know what you're trying to do. I said that I've been longing to have a conversation with you for so long, and that you are a woman of
Mm, mm.
intellect. So I'm glad that um, I'm sitting down with you to have this conversation. So for those who are listening, they should sit down and take notes because you have so much gems to drop today. So yeah,
Okay, you're gassing me up too much. Imagine I have no gems to drop, so
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, guys, you're
I
welcome. You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
So sit tight, and then we
Is
would
there a way
proceed.
to like, I've never used this before.
Mm,
Is there a way to turn off like comments? Do you
you
know that?
can. You don't
Okay,
want to see comments.
no.
Okay, why?
Because it could be distracting. I want to focus on you.
Oh, all right. All right, let me turn off the comments then.
I mean, you can keep them on for yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can keep it on, but I mean, if the
Okay,
questions,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
yeah,
Turn them on. It's
questions
fine. I
might
feel like
just
if
pop
people
in
want to
as time goes
interact,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, just to interact
it's
and
fine.
just waving and stuff. So
It's
can
fine. It's
also
fine.
wave at people. So yeah, but yeah.
Sounds good.
So by the way, how was your day? I don't want to go. I don't want to dive into it right now. How was your day? How's your
My
week
day
going
was
so far?
pretty good. I had class this morning. As you know, I work three jobs and go to school. So I had class this morning.
Wait, you work
And
three
then I had to
jobs?
rush. Yeah, I pay my bills.
Hey, we will dive into that shortly. I don't know how one can work three
I
jobs in
know.
today's world, but
I'm on my way leaving one soon. Well, by next year I won't be working at all. I'm just gonna focus on school because it's getting hard to juggle. But yeah, I do for now. I have the three, and I have part-time school, so I go to class twice a week. And then um, I have to find time to exercise in this.
wow.
So I usually like I wake up pretty early. I usually wake up. I'm usually like functional by like 5:30. So I wake up like 5:30 and do like a quick 20-minute something cardio, light weights or something. Then I'll get ready to go to work. And then if I don't have class or Bible studies or anything after work, then I'll do another workout. So I
Wow.
actually just came back from like quick walk. That's all.
Wow. Then I'm thankful that you made time for me because with all this schedule that you have,
We
I
had
don't
to
think
when we had to plan. You saw how my schedule
we
was
had
wild,
to.
and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
listen,
I didn't know it was too
my
complex as we're
my
describing it.
schedule, like my friends ask me for my schedule and I'll screenshot it. Like my calendar in my phone, there is something plugged in usually every 2 hours or so.
Wow.
So when people ask me for my schedule, I'm like, do you really want to see it? Because when I send my schedule, they are overwhelmed and they don't want to see it anymore. So
Wow.
as I said,
Wow.
I do have quite a schedule. Yeah.
Wow. All right, let me make the best with this few time that I have with you. So, but yeah, so
I
guys,
told
you're
you I'm
welcome.
all yours. I
Thank
deliberately
you.
made time for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, guys, you're welcome. You're welcome to go join the pod. Mostly I do it audio, but today, not today, but from time to time, I'll switch up with visuals so we can have a few of people's faces and interactions
You're
and stuff
right.
like that. So, so let's dive in. Let's dive into it. So the people want to know. The people want to know. Are you single? Are you dating? Are you? Well, what is the relationship status? So I saw that just in case someone dives into my DM, it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I knew it.
hey, hey,
I
I want to
knew
know.
it. I knew
I
it.
want to know. So I want to come off like proper. Like, are you dating? Are you single? Are you looking? Are you in a complicated situation? What is it?
I'm dating.
Wow. For how long, please? I'm
Uh,
barely asking. I'm not biting any.
for hold on,
Wow.
for 14 months.
I thought you meant said 14 years. I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
no, no,
14
no,
years.
no, no.
Oh, see,
Oh, 14 years and not married?
that's another one there. Um, so did you vet him before, things got, serious, or what happened? How was the process?
Um, I'm not
This
gonna
is
lie,
this is
I
this is
didn't.
not even this is not the conversation yet. This is just me trying to get to know a little bit of
Would
you
you
before.
why?
And we just breaking the ice. We're just breaking the ice. So
I won't lie, no, I didn't do much vetting because the person came to me via reference. So a close friend of mine introduced me to somebody.
okay.
So
And
that
did
per-
he
so then
meet?
that
Did he?
person so they're coming with a reference. You get me?
Yeah. And I'm saying, did he meet? Did he meet the criteria in terms of the preference? Did they meet the criteria?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. That's good. Anyway, I don't wanna. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Whatever happens in the next few months to come, I'm happy for you. If it's an engagement, it's a
I'll keep
proposal,
I'll
it's a
keep
wedding, I'll be there.
I'll keep you
Just let me know.
posted. I'll
I'll
keep you
be there.
posted.
You understand? I'll be there.
Yeah.
All right. So, first question: what makes a man insecure to you in a relationship?
Mm-mm-mm. That
What
is a
makes a man insecure
good,
to you
that
in a relationship?
is a very good question. I struggle with that because I think I don't know of many men openly admitting into insecurities, me personally. Um, so I don't always assume a certain characteristic is associated to an insecurity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think the kind of everyday usual answer is like, oh, if they don't let me do this, or if they have a problem with this or that, it's a relevant. It means the person's insecure. I don't know if I agree with that exactly, right? Like that's hard for me. Like, can you give me an example of a specific insecurity?
So let's say, okay, I don't know if you noticed about me, but if you not noticed, I do have a lazy eye, right? So, and that's
Oh,
maybe, yeah, you might not notice as
I,
time goes
I
on.
didn't
Yeah,
notice.
yeah.
Nah.
So like that's an insecurity for me, like for years ago. Like now I've come to love who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, like that was really like affecting the way I relate to people in terms of like dating. Like when
Mm-hmm.
ladies see like you with a lazy eye or something, it's like a turn off for them. Like they don't
So,
want to talk to you,
do
whatever.
you
So
feel
it's
like you
like that
acted
was an
differently because
insecurity
of
for
it?
me. So what?
Okay, but if you didn't tell me, right,
Yes, true.
I wouldn't know. So do you feel like you act differently?
When I tell you,
No, no. Do you feel like you act in a sense like, okay, for example, because you have a lazy eye and that's something you're insecure about, maybe I'm just giving an example here. Maybe you don't like to take pictures. You know what I mean when
yes,
I say like you act
yes,
differently? So
yes.
not you're not gonna walk
Secondly,
around and
to
tell people,
secondly to I wasn't good at video. Like I didn't want to
right?
show my face
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
And you know
yeah.
what? I'm like that too. I personally don't like pictures. I
Okay.
don't. I don't like
Okay.
pictures, right?
Yeah, because
But it
if I don't take care and you take a picture and my lazy eyes shows up, it's like, oh, I
makes
look off. And
me feel in
I've
some
seen
way.
hot pictures. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But
So
I mean, it's like you don't actively go out and say it, right? It's like
no.
you have to be in a situation where Kojo's like, "Oh, I don't want to take a picture," and then
Yes.
at that moment, are you gonna tell everybody, "I don't want to take a picture because I have a lazy eye," or you're just saying, "I don't want to take a picture"? You know what I mean?
I would just
So that
say I don't want to take a picture because I'm not in the mood to take a
right,
picture.
like, but I'm not gonna sit
Yeah.
there and say he's insecure. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm making it complicated because I don't come to conclusions as easily as I should,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm struggling with it. I don't know how I would identify an insecurity based on XYZ. I don't know. Until that person until I investigate and say, okay, I noticed that you don't like taking pictures, Kojo. What's up with that? And then
Right.
hopefully you're comfortable with me and you open up and you say, honestly, Effie, it's like I have a lazy eye and I don't want to see it in a picture.
Yeah.
Boom, you get me?
Okay.
But
Okay.
if I'm talking to you or dating or whatever, and you don't want to take a picture, my assumption isn't he's insecure. Do you get me? That's why I'm like,
So until it's been told to you, then
yeah,
that's when
I
you
don't
figure out if it's something that you're
exactly
gonna
because
proceed or not.
like I'll give you a very traditional like look at a very traditional like clubhouse scenario when we speak on men that don't want their significant other to post certain pictures or to post a certain way or go out in public a certain way. A lot of people will say that's an insecurity. You're insecure about yourself because you don't want your partner to do XYZ.
Right.
I'm like, nah, maybe they're just not down. What I don't think it's an insecurity. I think that's just not their jam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I'm like,
Just don't post this particular picture or something. That doesn't mean that I'm
it
insecure.
it doesn't always lead that the reason for someone's decision is not always stemming from an insecurity. It could just not be their preference.
True.
If that makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, no, maybe. Anyway, sorry, I
Yeah.
can't. I don't know.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, again, there's not a right or wrong answer to this. It's just I just want to know your perspective as to how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Secondly, how do you avoid negative people or toxic people in your surroundings?
You block them.
Like, how do you block them in real life? Do you just ignore them? Like maybe let's say for example you go to church or like maybe church or work and you have a toxic person. How do you block them?
Won't interact. I will minimize my interaction as much as possible. As much like to the bare basics. To the bare basics. And still just try to be functional, right? Because if I don't have to interact with the person, it's not very hard. But if I'm forced to interact with that person regularly, I'm just going to keep it very flat, very cordial. I'm not going to share my weekend with you. You know, I'm not going to ask you what you had for lunch. There will be no chit chatter. And I think more naturally humans kind of know how to read the room or know how to read an interaction. Right? Like you know which coworkers you're buddy with and you know which ones you're not. You get me? And it's not necessarily like a beef thing. It's just like, oh, you guys just don't connect on that way, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just keep it.
How do you identify a toxic person? Personally, not in general, but personally, how do you identify a toxic person?
When their presence bothers me. Like when something you're doing, saying, portraying, when there's something in your entity that is actively bothering me.
Wow.
Okay? And sometimes it's not even deliberate. Let me be clear here. And that's specific to me, right? Sometimes there's some people that their attitude or who they are doesn't appeal to me, right? So I'm not gonna have a fake relationship or I'm not gonna do all of that. When something within them doesn't appeal to me, that's how me personally I identify it.
Okay. For me, when I see a negative person or a toxic person, I think as you said, I think their presence or the way they talk, you know, the way they devalue people in your presence, I think is not a good thing. You know, so for me,
I think we have good. Your spirit knows what's best. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I personally think your spirit knows better. Do you ever have friends that be like, my spirit is not feeling it?
I have that, and even me, I do. I mean, this is like my spirit is not even there. Not to be too spiritual, whatever the case is, but it's like. It is what it is. It's just what it is.
Yeah, it's not meant to be religious or anything specific like that. It's just, I don't know, your spirit, your soul, right?
It's just not in tune
and
with
it goes
the
both
people
ways.
around.
It can be for someone that you vibe with too. Like, have you ever met somebody you don't even know them that well, but for some reason you're like, I'm vibing with you, my spirit. I don't know. Maybe you guys knew each other in a former life, but when your spirit doesn't like it'll tell you.
It's just a light in darkness. Like when when darkness meet light, it just disappears. So it's like it doesn't. It's like I don't want to go too far. We know what we're talking about. So for those who are listening to you know what you're talking about. If you're not vibing, you're not vibing. Like just stay in the corner. You'll be
your
fine.
spirit
This is
ain't
more
catching it.
important. Yeah, but we still love you though. We still love you from where you are, from
Gotta
afar. We still love you. So
listen.
yeah, it's fine.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so now that you said you are dating, right? Did you have high standards, low standards? What were the standards in terms
Oh
of
man,
looking into dating?
I think sometimes. Hmm. I do think sometimes. Okay. I think yes. Sometimes my standards were. I don't want to say high, but the best word I can think of right now is unrealistic
Can you
or
break that down?
difficult.
What do you mean by that?
Okay.
I mean, of course,
What I
unrealistic
what I
standards,
would
I
have
get it,
thought.
but break it down for them to
Oh,
listen.
well, okay. Some things you just have to put into perspective in reality, right? For example, I was one of those. Anyways, call me out if you want. I was one of those girls who made a list. I made a list.
There's nothing wrong with having a
Okay.
list.
I
Yeah.
made a list. I did fasting and prayer. I sowed my seed. I did it.
Yeah, now you are stretching that. You are
No, no,
stretching
no,
it.
but
Now you are stretching it.
they said if you want
What?
something, you got to pray for it. But they say if you want something, not only do you have to pray for it, you have to work
Yeah,
towards it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so,
But like fasting and praying on a whole anyway, I mean,
well,
to each
no,
their
no,
own.
no. The fasting and praying was not necessarily dedicated to like, let me get a man. It was like fasting and praying, in like it was the month. It's just in
Okay,
general,
okay, okay.
right?
I thought it
Right.
was just dedicated to
But
the
I'm,
list.
but that was like, this is a specific thing my church does though. Very honestly, it's not specific to that. But like, let's say you sow a seed for anything you want, like, excuse me, do the same thing for like, I don't know, my mother's health or my family. There's many things, okay? But let's just say that's one of them. So maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, the things that I thought I wanted are significantly different now because my understanding and value system is a bit different. So if you would have asked for my list 5 years ago, okay, it would have definitely said like no kids,
Which is good.
6 feet. Um, I
Uh,
wasn't obsessed with like six figures, but I definitely like some a strong sense of financial stability.
okay.
Strong sense of financial stability. And probably like, own their own car, own their own house, stuff, we
Yeah.
can be shallow. It is what it is. And that changed to now it's more of a value system or characteristics, right? More than it is material, right? So I removed one thing that changed a lot was the no kids thing. I was really, really pressed on that because I had dated somebody who had kids or had a kid, right? And it didn't go well. Mostly, not even because the person had a kid, but mostly because what I saw, like the interaction that he had, I just saw him as a bad father, right? So
Ooh,
I was like, and I got turned, but also it was a bad timing because this kid was not even a year old yet, so bad timing in general.
yeah,
But that made me think, oh, I don't want to deal with guys with kids,
yeah,
right? So eliminate that
yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
And I've talked about Papa, no. I've talked about finances a lot because, as you
Yeah.
know, I've dated people who were
Well,
not
bro.
were not in the same place as me financially,
Okay.
and it later on became an issue. So
Okay.
I at least I wanted someone who has some kind of strong financial ability where it wouldn't become an issue in the relationship because I had already had that experience. Okay. But now I'm 30. We have to be real here, right? It's
My
very hard
goodness,
to
I didn't
meet
know you're gonna
people.
just throw. I didn't know you're gonna throw the age out there. Like,
But
anyway.
I personally I don't understand why people fear their age. It is what it is.
Ask your gender. Ask your gender, please. Ask your gender.
What's the
Hey,
point? I don't know. I don't see the point of
I don't
fearing
know.
age. It's there,
I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, and now it's like we have to be realistic with what's out there. It is. I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but it's harder to meet people at this age era who don't have kids.
Mm,
You know what I
mm,
mean? So to say I don't want anything to do with that is like you're eliminating a potential blessing as well too, right? And then for finances, although it's not like must have six figures or whatever, um, I do still feel like there should be evidence of financial stability, maturity, organization, something. Do you know what I
mm,
mean?
mm.
Because and anything in any ways, those characteristics and the things that have changed are things that I had grown realized changed in myself as well too. Like I've had therapy and counseling for other things, but in that process, growth came from it. So the characteristics became more concise and more, precise and narrow. So it made it a bit realistic, I think. It's very easy to get caught up on material things without understanding the substance behind it. You know what I mean? So the person may be making six figures, but have absolutely no financial management whatsoever. I've met those people. You see what I mean? Like, and a person may make five figures, which is totally fine and sustainable, right? Especially if we're going to combine incomes anyways, and have amazing financial management skills. That was me. Like I made five figures and I managed my finances. So it just came down to seeking not only what is feasible, but what you can also provide as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, of course, like, I think everyone should have standards in terms of like being in a relationship. You shouldn't just settle.
Absolutely.
If I say settle for less, I would say it's not really something, but just like know what you want, and then if it should match with what you also, appreciate as a person, like your values and beliefs,
Exactly.
certain things. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting a man who is 6 feet tall, wanting a man who has his own house, has his own car, with no kids. For me, I think that was one thing I didn't want. I didn't want a woman with kids. Yeah, and I also didn't want a woman who was no Christian, because I'm Christian. I need to marry a Christian.
But yeah,
and I also didn't want.
and I think that's okay. I think that's okay. You don't have kids, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not. It's
But with
unrealistic to force
the kids aspect, right? I don't know if it's different as compared to like a woman having kids in the dating world as compared to a man having kids in the dating world. Like a single woman dating a man with kids and a single man dating a woman with kids. I think is a different dynamic. What do you think? Yeah,
I agree with that actually, 100%. Because when I did date the guy with kids, my initial reason for not wanting that was just being greedy and wanting somebody's attention, right? Because especially at that time in my life, I had no restrictions. I had nothing obligating me to anything. So if I say, yo, I'm trying to go to Jamaica, are you down? I want you to be down to go to Jamaica. I don't want you to tell me, let me find a babysitter. Let me call my baby mama. I don't want to hear that. You get me? So at the time, it was just selfishness, to be honest with you. It's just me wanting to be prioritized. And it is different with guys because let's be fair, most of the time, guys don't have full custody rights or they're sharing or something. So I think when it's a guy, they still have quite a fair bit of availability, right? At least that was my case. Like he was actually quite available. Whereas I think if it was a guy dating a woman with children, it is not. Now they say you have to pay the babysitter if you ask her on a date.
Really?
You didn't hear? Yeah, that's the expectation. Yeah, if you're asking a woman with children out on a date, they're like, yo, who's gonna watch my kids? Help me pay for a babysitter.
Wow, that's hey man, that's wild. I mean, okay, that's not too wild what I'm thinking, but I think it's fair to say that since you are taking her on a date, you should be willing to take her. Yeah, that's another conversation.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what's on the news.
Wow, man, guys out there, man. Hey, anyway.
ASMO.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Life is hard.
Yeah, this is not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair, man. So definitely age played a role, maturity played a role in terms of the list. So what specifically determines maturity in man and woman when it comes to like relationship wise?
I think I know age, yes, but more so experience. Okay. So naturally, the older we are, the more experience we're going to acquire, right? You would have had, You would have lived through some things. You would have had certain experiences. But that doesn't isolate that the fact that, age means maturity. No. I think experiences, exposure helps towards maturity.
True.
Someone that has been places, seen things, has had the ability to have diverse exposure, right? And actually, me personally, one thing that I really, really, really admire in a partner is someone who is guided and guided and consistent.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
regardless of your views or your principles or your practices, I like someone to be set and founded and not out here wishy-washy, whereas
Right.
anything could just persuade you at any moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
find that quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So for before you become guided and set in your ways, you would have been exposed
Mm.
a bit more,
Mm.
right? You would have
Yes.
had, it's like, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? You only know
Mm.
what it is because you done tried a few.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's
But
true.
now you said, okay, I've tried vanilla, I've tried chocolate, I've tried strawberry. I really like vanilla, and I'm good.
Good.
And that's it.
Right.
That doesn't mean you are never gonna try anything else. It's
Yeah.
just that's just your core. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like to know that someone has had some life experiences. I like to hear, have you traveled? Have you, been places? Have you done things? Have you worked in different, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it does, to an extent, it does come with age, right? Because there are
Right.
just some things you're just not gonna know until you
Get to
grow up
a
and
particular
get
age. Yeah. Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what do you know about voting until you're 18?
True.
You know what
True.
I mean?
Yeah.
What do you like? I don't know about the U.S., but here you have to be 25 to rent an SUV.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't seem like a big deal, but does the person know how to do that?
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I
But I
mean?
think
So,
I think that when it comes to age maturity, is not really correlated to some extent, because someone can be 12 years old and be very like mature in wisdom, like in terms of like
mhm.
how he talks, the way he delivers like conversations and stuff like that. And as compared to, as you said, like being able to experience and expose yourself. And I also think that you surrounding yourself with certain people can help,
Yeah.
like maturity.
Oh,
Because for me, I
totally.
don't really hang around people who are my age per se. Like I'm mostly around
Hmm.
people who are older, as you said, with experience and exposure, because you can listen to them and get the wisdom and then apply it to your life. So I think it's really
Hmm.
critical growing
I,
up
I,
and.
I agree that they're not cause and effect, but I
Yeah.
disagree that they're not correlated. So what I mean by
Okay.
that is, if I'm actually going to make a chart here, I'm going into statistics because I actually take a class like this. If I'm going to make a spread out chart for a demographic somewhere, and let's just leave it at 100 people, you're going to see a link in there regardless,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where if I'm going to give everybody the experience of like driving a car, more likely than not, people of a certain age will have had that experience. That doesn't mean, like, we all
So maybe she got a phone call.
happen after a certain age group or certain age demographic. Do you get what I mean?
Oh,
So what
are
I'm
you
saying,
back?
oh, did I?
Is it my is it my
Sorry, did it
network
freeze?
or you're back, you're back, you're back,
Okay,
you're back.
I see you.
I just you were it's fine, I'm back now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
No,
a
well, so
little.
what I was saying, like, I agree one doesn't cause the other, but I disagree with the fact that they're not correlated. I do think there is an association with aging and maturity, but I'm not saying that you have to be 25 or 21, or I'm not saying that,
Yeah, to
but I
experience these
disagree
things.
that
Okay.
there's
Okay.
no link whatsoever. That part I'm going to respectfully disagree. I do think there is something to be said about maturity and age at some point.
Okay. All right. I, I mean, hey, we're here to learn, so it's not like
Oh, no,
just
no.
like actually
It's a
whatever it is. So
conversation.
yeah, it's a conversation. Anyway, guys,
Mhm.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So guys who are just joining in, this is just a
Is it
quick
still? Mary just
what?
said it's frozen. Is it still
Oh, it's
frozen?
back, it's back, yeah,
Is
back. It was frozen like
it
two
back?
seconds
Okay.
ago. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay,
back,
okay.
it's back. Yeah, so guys, you're welcome. You're welcome to join the pod. So if you haven't followed me, please follow me. It's free. Follow me and enjoy this good conversation. I'm
He
also
said
on
it's free.
yeah, it's free. You don't pay for subscription.
No
I'm
kidding.
also on TikTok, Coach on the Pod. Also on what else? YouTube. Coach on the Pod Talk Show. I'm still building that up, so gradually,
Is,
guys. So
is it on Spotify?
yeah, my podcast is on Apple and Spotify. That's the audio part, and then the video part is mostly on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. So yeah, gradually, I'm getting there. When I have my studio, you see, gradually.
I'm gonna come through.
Oh, for sure, definitely, for sure. So that's my next question to you is: does dating with a purpose mean you should date one person?
No, I don't think so. I think for dating for what the sake of dating is, right? Dating is just taking time with a person, getting to know them, right? That part.
Yeah,
that part. Because you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
For that purpose of interacting and getting to know someone, absolutely. There's nothing that says that you have to do it with one person at a time. And it not be purposeful. I disagree with that. I think you can absolutely purposefully date more than one person.
More than one person. But how do you juggle that though? I mean, for you, of course, I don't know about.
I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't.
Why didn't you juggle? Why didn't you juggle men? Like when it comes to like, why you just focus on one person when you
I don't have time, and I'm my brain capacity is poor because I will call somebody by the wrong name, very likely.
Wow.
very, very likely. Wow. But I mean, if I could, it probably wouldn't be more than 2 people anyways, just because like who really does have that much time? Let's be fair. Like I don't think people have that much time. But I also think that like I know there's this aspect, maybe women care about this more than men, but there is this aspect of time, right? So it would suck to give all your attention to one person and them not be the right person and then having to start over again. And, so that's a reason, at least that's a reason that I know of that people might use to talk to more than one person at a time, right?
Yeah.
And then hope that in that process, you quickly identify if it's gonna go forward or not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. I might be wrong for this. I don't think it's that hard to get to know people. I don't know. I feel that's my vibe. I feel like if someone is like not good, you'll catch it quick.
Yeah, you can just tell.
There'll be something. There'll be something. Now, whether that is a non-negotiable or not is debatable.
Right.
So, right. That's individual. That is individual. But I think you can still get to know people and grasp rather quickly if this is an adequate thing or not, or if it's going to lead to the result that you want, right? Now, everybody assumes purposeful dating is for the sake of marriage. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah. I mean, again, it depends on the person. It depends on the person.
Hey, Shan. You should put them on rotation. Don't kill me.
Man, Shanti, man. Shanti, thank you.
Bye, sis.
But yeah,
you will know quickly if that person. You will know quickly if it ain't it, and you'll move on. You know, my greatest fear about all of that is my fear is not even that. My fear is that I'm gonna meet more than one person that I like, and then I'm gonna struggle to let somebody go. That's my fear.
I was gonna ask a question about soulmate. Do you believe in that? And do you have one soulmate?
If I believe in soulmate.
Yeah, and do you believe this?
That's hard because the times that I thought I had a soulmate, I was wrong. That's so bad.
Yeah, man.
I think you could have. I feel like you could have more than one.
You can.
That might be crazy.
Just like you were saying, like you get to like multiple people as you go along.
Yeah. I don't feel like you would have more than one. Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah. I think you can coexist and flourish with people as long as you choose to. Do you know what I mean? Like, if both people equally agree to that union or that purpose, maybe on paper it's not a soulmate, but two people can still thrive and attain a goal together, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, the easiest example I can think of is my parents, who actually are not together anymore. My father passed away. They were divorced before that, and my mother remarried. But she actually, like, she identifies my dad as her soulmate, despite the marriage not
Was he
working.
the only person she was like intimate with the whole time?
Well, yeah, she met him when she met my dad when she was 14.
Wow. So
They
if you
got
wanted a
married. They
man
had
like him,
that's her
yeah,
first boyfriend. That's her
then it would
husband.
make that would make sense for her to think that's a soulmate. But if you're
Right.
if like
And
talk to
even
different men,
right. And
that's really
even
strange.
after the marriage, and and things went down, she never lost love for him, and at any point it just didn't work out. It didn't become feasible to them, but she didn't lose love for him. You know what I mean? So looking back, she doesn't regret anything that they had gone through, right? And she still thinks that that was a soulmate for her, right? And she thinks my stepfather her soulmate too.
Hey, so
So,
she had two soulmates then. Then it's possible for you to have a lot of soulmates, you know?
but yeah, I think so, because think about it. We're so diverse. There's so. Do you really think you're the only person of your kind in every way?
Of my kind, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
You think there's someone else than you out there?
Sure. Sure. 7 billion people.
I do
Why
believe
wouldn't
in
there be?
cloning, but like,
Oh no, not like as a clone, but I mean someone that is like you in spirit, in character. I don't mean like a twin.
of course, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah.
like somebody that's like you in spirit and in
Oh
character.
yeah,
Do you understand what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I don't think
Personality
we're
wise, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like I don't think it's hard to be able to attach to a person. Like if you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that, and that's probably why, like, you guys know I love 90 Day Fiance so much. I love that so much. But because think about it, these people find these intense connections
Mm-hmm.
literally across the planet. Do you get
Mm-hmm.
me? And
Yeah.
sometimes they're silly. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're silly, but sometimes
Yeah.
they're actually really genuine and intense. And I'm like, yo, would you have met this person if not for that app or
True.
whatever platform they
True.
were? You wouldn't. You wouldn't have met this
You would.
guy
That's
who
very
lives
true.
in yeah, who lives
That's very true.
in Hong Kong. You wouldn't have met him.
That's
But it's
true.
true. It's true.
That's
Till
very,
this
very
day,
true.
they have couples who are happily married years later, and they met virtually, literally across the world, and they connected, and they will tell you that's my soulmate, that's this and that and the other. You would have never met that person if not for
I
this
agree.
format that we have.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
were you gonna like? I live in Ottawa, which is not the most active Canadian city in the world. Um, but people manage to find connections, right? So imagine going across the world, you would find a connection
Yeah, you
somewhere.
definitely find a connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was one time I was talking to a friend of mine. I said to her like, "Oh, she was saying she's single, looking for someone." I'm like, "Oh, it could be that the person you're looking for is not in your confinement, or is not in where you live. So why don't you move somewhere?" And she's like, I don't think moving will be a thing for me because I'm like, yeah, yeah. I mean, you
I get
search
it.
for the person, you can't find the person. So if you move somewhere, you might find the person. So just take the
I
risk
get
and see what
it.
happens. But she's still not.
No, but I get it. I
Still
don't want to
not
move either.
really.
I
Even
mean,
if you've
I
tried,
would.
and you okay. Let's say you're not dating. Let's say there's no
Hmm.
you've gone out, you've talked to plenty of guys, and none of them were your spec. Would you just say,
Hmm.
whatever it is, let me just settle with this person just for the sake of it? Or you
Oh
would
no.
go somewhere else and exactly. So you want to go
Wait,
somewhere
wait.
other than find
But if I'm no. But like, if I'm in my city and I haven't found someone for me to go move for the prospect of dating, no, I wouldn't do that.
you wouldn't do that?
Move to a different city or a different place just for the sake of dating?
Yeah, just to explore more options as
No,
compared to what you have in your city. No?
I wouldn't move for that. No.
Okay. But if it was for job or something, you do that.
Yeah, that's different. I'm getting paid. No, but think about what you're asking me. You're saying the purpose to move for the purpose of like changing my environment for dating preferences, right?
No,
But now I have to go look
yeah,
for a job there, relocate. Like I'm not gonna do all of that work just to date. You know what I mean? Listen, but you don't have to do all this. This is why there's apps. You ain't gotta do all that.
but most
Right?
people don't even do the apps anymore. They want to do the traditional meet up, see
But there's
you, talk to you.
still a lot of people on them apps. There's still a lot of people on them apps. You know what's funny is people will tell you they're not on it, but they're on it.
Really? I know.
Yeah.
I actually know somebody who doesn't have not been to a dating app before, like
Oh,
Tinder,
there
Bumble,
are a
whatever.
lot. I worked in a few years ago. I worked in intensive care. In my intensive care, we were 30 something nurses, and I was working one shift. One shift we were 9, and the 9 that were working that day, 6 were married to people they met online.
Wow, that
That
is
they met swiping their phone.
swiping left and right, left and right. Wow,
You see what I'm saying?
that's
And
so
2 of them
insane.
had moved. 2 of them had moved. So one was from one city, met the guy. Like I said, you can broaden the geographics of the app, by the way.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling
You
you,
can be in one city and
I
make
mean,
that
I'm
app
out of the
find people
system
2 cities
for some
away.
time, so I don't know
So
what's happening. So if you're in Canada right now, you can change it to like maybe US or something.
it has it has a kilometer limit depending on the app you use, but you can broaden it. You can broaden the kilometers. Yeah, and it'll show you people in different cities. Like
Wow,
that's not that,
interesting.
that's not hard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 2 of them had lived in 2 other random Canadian cities and moved once they met the guys. So I don't
Mm,
see the point of you relocating for the sake of like broadening your dating prospects, whereas you can just stay where you are,
and
keep
find
fishing,
someone.
and
And
if you
find
find and you're willing to relocate or that person's willing to relocate, blah blah, you can do it. Like I told you about the show. These people, most of them met like were at home swiping on their phone or whatever app and interacted with people. A few of
yeah,
them actually traveled and met these people, and
okay,
that's different. That's like they traveled to go on vacation.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So there's
yeah.
that percentage as well too. But I agree with your friend. I wouldn't move. I was just if they ever get
I'm
if
trying to
they would
convince her, but she doesn't want to go, so it's fine. I'm
well
just gonna say,
maybe
hey, it's fine.
maybe one day she'll be open minded to the app and she can just widen the parameters and
She's not on a dating app.
uh
She's not on
and
it.
that then that way.
She's not
There's
on it.
I'll send you a group. There's a oh wait, you're in the US. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have groups for these for people like that, you
Really?
know? Yeah. I'll I'll show you what it looks
There's
like,
a
but it's a
lot.
Canadian one.
There's a lot that I don't know because I've been out of the system for quite some time.
You got the game.
I'm
We
out of
still
the
in these
game.
streets.
All right. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you've heard the alpha male conversation, red pill, blue pill, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that when you listen to someone say that? Hey, I'm a red pill, X, Y, Z. What do you make of that? Like, what is your genuine response to a
I
man
might
saying
laugh a
something
little
like that?
bit.
You do?
I would laugh and then I would just ask them what they believe or don't believe, right? So it's so funny because I was just talking to somebody about this whole red pill stuff today, right?
Yeah.
And I've voluntarily listened to a lot of the content. And some things I totally understand and I totally agree with, and other things I think can be quite extreme. But let's be clear, any doctrine or theory or concept that people grasp on can be understood generally and can be made extreme,
Yeah.
right? Even religion,
Yeah.
although its purpose is to kind of ground us and give us like guidelines of morality and
Yeah.
ethics, guess what? People take those same guidelines and they make it extreme,
Yeah.
right? So I think a lot of red pill looks extreme, but the few that I've read or looked at or listened to, I don't have a problem with. I can understand the plights that a lot of men have faced and seeking um, some balance,
Mm.
right? Or understanding. I don't even think it's even like, I don't think they're seeking any kind of equality. I think it's more of a seeking of understanding and just understand my struggle. Okay, you have your struggle, I have my struggle. Understand my struggle, and I can respect that. But there's still some things that are like really really extreme. And most reasonable people are not that extreme. You know,
The
like
thing is
I
that
would digest it.
like when I hear them talk, right, I ask myself, do they actually practice this thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just, yeah, because are you telling me, oh, like, as an alpha man, you should wash my feet, do this, you talk to me this way,
That
but
sounds like
I mean,
that sounds like
again,
Dom.
I don't know their lifestyle, I don't know what they do on a daily basis, but like, who would be doing unless you pay the person to do that, and that's a different sort of service. Like you're paying me to,
Mm-hmm.
greet you a certain way, talk to you a certain way. Don't look. There's one guy on YouTube. He said if he's talking, the woman should not even say nothing to like be quiet because he's talking. I mean, like, as in, of course, let's say you're having a conversation. Like, don't say anything. Don't. I mean, I get it, of course, respectfully, but like, don't say anything. Don't look at my face. I'm like, this is
That's
this
so
is
that's so
this is giving
unrealistic.
me some
I know, but that's what I mean.
vibes.
If someone tells me that,
Crazy.
I'll question it. Okay, so what about it? Do you identify with? What do you like? What do you agree with? You know, because it honestly, I think it depends on who they follow. Because there's so many
That's
of
true.
these content creators on it that they'll there'll be 10 that'll tell you, oh, I'm red pill, but in the 10 they're so different. Do you know what I
Very,
mean? Like
very.
I would question
There's
which
some.
doctrine they're following.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I thought they only came to the rise because of clicks and views and stuff like that. Like guys like Andrew Tate, you feel me? Like in as much as of course he can be extreme
Yeah.
with certain things,
Yeah.
but what he's saying to, if you think about it, is like, I think I'm getting, but some people would take that context or that phrase and just like blow it
Yeah.
and
Like I've
just
heard videos where he says very sensible things.
yeah, he's a very
And
sensible guy.
I've heard videos that have sounded very extreme too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
So
But I'm not
again,
gonna lie. I've never sat down and listened to a whole thing from A to Z. So I'm not gonna like
yeah, yeah,
I won't pass
yeah, yeah,
judgment, but I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear the whole thing, to be
yeah,
fair. I
yeah,
didn't hear the whole thing.
yeah.
So I don't want to just jump on it, oh, this is bad or that's bad, if I didn't sit
Right.
down and digest the whole thing and actually like formulate an opinion about it. But no, I think I would just question it and be like, okay, so what do you listen to? What do you believe? What is it about? I'll act like I don't know anything
Yeah.
about it and have them explain it to me.
Explain.
Hmm.
Hopefully, they would be able to speak up as they speak up so loudly on social media because they're very
Mm,
loud. They are very very loud when they it's
very, very.
like this group called Fresh and Fit. I don't know if you've
Oh,
seen them. Oh man, they treat the ladies like they are trash. Like it's like I
that's probably some of the worst. Mm,
I
that's
don't know
probably some
how
of the
these
worst
people
to
just sit
follow.
down and just talk to women like they don't care. Like it's like they have no
But you know,
emotions, Effy.
but
Like it's crazy.
and I'm actually surprised how they still have anything to talk about because aren't you me? I'm tired.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
actually
tired
really
though.
tired
I
of
mean,
the
I'm tired
subject.
of listening to these
I'm,
people. Like
I'm
honestly
very
speaking, I'm tired.
yeah. I'm actually
I'm
like
tired.
tired of the subject altogether,
Yeah,
and I'm shocked that they still manage to go live. What is it? Every other day or every
yeah,
like they have some.
yeah, and get a
They
lot
go,
of followers too.
and
It's
I'm
crazy.
looking at the girls like, do you not know what's going on here? Why are you still here?
You see, I think most of
Tired.
them are very indoctrinated to that doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I want to hear from these people
Mm-hmm.
because, of course, and like growing up, like when was it? I think it was at church months ago, and I heard this young guy say, "I want to be an alpha male." I was like, "Wait, you're just 14 years old. Half of
It has
where
begun.
where are you getting this from?"
It has begun.
But yeah,
It has
man, I don't
begun.
know. I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but as you said with the
I
balance, I think you
don't.
should be able to
I don't
decide stuff.
know.
I don't know. I always don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
We'll,
aside
we're,
from
we'll
that,
see. We'll see in a few years.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's still going to continue. Because if it continues, then. But so one more question
But like,
before
it's not
we
all
just.
bad.
Yeah, it's not. All, it's not. It's
Hmm.
not. No, no. Like guys, it's not
Hmm.
like being an alpha is a bad thing, or
Yeah.
being a red pill is a bad thing. I'm just saying that, like, just you know, at least don't be too extreme with it. Like, you just go overboard. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Just if
agreed.
you're an alpha, be alpha. But like, don't. But
People
anyway,
are,
that's just.
don't you
But
think
anyway,
like people who are alpha don't even say it?
right? Yeah, people don't even say I'm alpha. People don't even
Yeah,
say it.
they
Like,
feel weird. They're
yeah, why
like,
would you?
don't be
Yeah,
saying that.
that's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, don't be. I'm an alpha man. Like, for what?
Mhm. They don't even say it. They just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Anyway,
weird thing to say.
anyway. So I have this thing about black people, right? About this topic I'm gonna bring up, right? I'm pretty sure you have. I mean, if you don't have any experience, that's fine. Why don't we support ourselves? Like, let's say you have a
Mhm.
brand. Maybe this guy, this shirt of mine is a friend's shirt, and I'm proudly
I was
supporting
actually
him.
about to say I really like your shirt.
Thank you, thank you.
So shout
Yeah.
out,
So
shout out to the designer.
yeah, he's called Rich Kicks Official. So yeah, why don't we support each other, man? Like, let's say you have a business. I have a friend here. She is into wigs, right? So if I need any wig or whatever, she's the first person I'm reaching out to. If you need any wig, she's the first person I'm going to reach out to. Hey, Helena, man, this girl needs a wig, whatever. Like, you know, I'm supporting the person. Why don't
Yeah.
we support ourselses? Why? Why is that?
It,
How
that's such a
why?
good question. I agree with you. I'm very like pro local, pro black business myself. Like when I'm trying to do something, I'll try to find a like local vendor, black vendor. Yo, that's just recently, like I'm planning my mom's birthday and I was like, yo, help me find a black person that knows how to do decor. They're like,
Right.
oh, they send me people. I'm like, ain't no black person in there. Like
Oh,
I
if you want
try. I really,
decor,
really try
man.
my,
If you
my
want
best.
decor and you're in the US, I know someone, but
I
don't
know.
don't even
I
come
already
up here.
found someone. I already found someone. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
But I think a part of me, I don't want to say it, but a part of me think there is an air of like competition or like, I guess the right word to say is jealousy. We unfortunately, I don't know if you agree with this, okay, but I grew up like around other Ghanaians. Like I grew up in a Ghanaian community, okay?
Likewise.
And I felt
Mm-hmm.
like it was a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like yes, there was a sense of unity and home and community, but I also felt that there was a unspoken air of competition where, and anybody with African parents will know this. Oh, your mate. Let's look at Mami Sewa's son. He got PhD. Also, what to her? When what you
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of
Yeah. I mean, if it's healthy, that's fine. If it's a healthy competition,
something
that's fine. But majority of
right.
the time, it's not healthy.
And exactly. And I don't know if that's also an influence that keeps us from help promoting and helping one another. There's some people that believe that a better, like a business is better if it's not local or if it's not from your community. There's people that believe that. They're like, oh, if you
Wow.
really want to get this done, you need to go look at a different race or different. There's people that believe that
Wow.
too, right? It's disturbing. Oh, see, somebody wrote jealousy. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I think there is
Yeah.
a bit of an air of jealousy because
Yeah.
instead of looking at your mate, looking at your brother and sister and saying, yo, they did that. I'm proud of them. That's amazing. You're
Yeah.
looking at them like, now I feel like I have to do something
For
too,
what?
right? It's such a
For
sad way
what?
of looking at things.
Come
No,
on.
I agree with it's such a sad way of looking at things. Like I
It's
have
some.
no problem. Quite frankly, I'm very happy to be surrounded by success. I
Yeah.
hope for it. I hope
Yeah.
everybody that is associated with me and around me does better than me
Yeah.
because I'm your friend and
Absolutely.
you gonna help me too.
Yeah. Because
So
okay, when was it? I know this guy. We go on Clubhouse. Oh, support your business, whatever. Bring a business,
mhm.
whatever the case is. And when the time comes for you to support that business, you are nowhere to be found. Like, so
Mm,
what's the whole point of you telling me? Oh, like it doesn't add up. It's like your
you
words don't.
see,
Who what?
somebody just wrote. I'm a. Sometimes
Yeah.
they
Oh,
have a
that's
bad
the lady I was
experience. We
talking
don't.
about.
Okay. See what I annoy about that? What annoys me is like, listen, have you been to another? Have you been to like a convenience store or a restaurant and gotten bad service, but the food was good, so you went back?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So having a bad experience or a moment with somebody that's business is local or amongst your community is not a red slash to never go back. Because let me tell you, I've had bad services and experiences at like an Indian place, Chinese place, or whatever. And guess what? I went back
You went back.
and gave them my money.
Mm.
So tell the person, or leave a review. I leave a lot of reviews and people respond to them. I leave a lot of reviews. Check out my Google account. I leave a lot of reviews and people respond to reviews and they're open to that criticism and they will do better. Right? But
yeah, I mean,
I'm not
that's
gonna.
That's the whole point of having a criticism. Or
That's
that's
the
the
whole point.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you
No,
can get
like
better,
I
like
agree.
improve. Yeah,
Yeah. Like just if you
yeah,
had a bad experience or something, shout out. Like there was a service I wanted to use. I knew of a girl's company and I did want to use her services. And I contacted them, no response. Days, no response, no response. Eventually I ended up using another service. She responded to me literally 2 weeks later. And I said, I'm sorry, I found somebody else. And then she's like, oh, well, why didn't you use me? And I'm like, to be honest, you just weren't receptive. Yeah. But she didn't take it badly, and now she knows, okay, I'll do better because I guess it's her business account, right? So she uses her regular account more than she uses her business account. So it's like, yeah, but you get business inquiry and you don't respond.
I don't know, man. I don't know if this is an African thing, man.
I don't
think
it's an African thing at all.
Because if today, if you're as I was saying to you earlier, if you need a wig or like photography or videography or something, I know somebody are gonna be like, yo, call this person. Like, I mean, listen, like, yeah. I don't gatekeep. I don't know why people like to gatekeep.
So you're gonna start the link for the next person, right? Like sometimes it's just one at a time. I'm the same. Like if I want to do something, I'm trying to find a local or like a community member that has the service first.
Yeah.
I'll try my hardest and hopefully I can refer them later, right? So sometimes you're just gonna be the starting point and eventually it will come together.
Like
right? Most of the time because that really is the most you can do. That's your part. You promote when you can, you refer and hoping it goes from there. And sometimes it'll take 50 referrals before they get one, but at least you got one. So I think it should just start with us and we'll get there. But
all right.
Baby steps. Yeah.
I'm still praying for my people, man. I'm still praying for my African people because
we out here. It will happen. It will happen.
Because I think there was one phase, I think the COVID time where they were like support black businesses, whatever it is. And then now it's like, wait. So all these things was here and you guys were not promoting until these things showed up. I'm like, it's not adding up.
So true.
It's some fake life, man. I don't know. I mean, I can't do that. Like, I don't know, but I mean, again, I'm different from the masses. So if you're listening, guys, if you know someone, connect. Like this, hey, man, we need each other, man. We need each other.
Drop the connect. Yes.
Come on, man.
It'll start with you. Trust that it will start with you, and it'll go from there. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it.
I won't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop. Like, because it's something I really want someone to do better than me. I don't really care whether I'm on the top. Like, even if I'm on the top, crying, I still want people to be with me. Like, keep going. Like, yeah, but people want to pull you down for what? Like, dang, what? Yeah.
Listen, they say if you surround yourself with success, you'll be successful.
It's some crazy world we live in, man. It's some crazy world we
live in.